you don't know what a Series I bond is, or you haven't bought one yet, you probably need to, because right now you can lock in a 9.62% return completely risk-free, because they're issued from the United States government, for 6 months. So right now, if you go to treasurydirect.gov and look at the Series I bonds, or just Google where to buy Series I bonds, you can find that you can buy up to $10,000 worth of Series I bonds and lock in 9.62% return for 6 months. It'll be adjusted after that 6 months, and you'll probably get a lower return because it tracks with inflation, and that's why the return is so high right now. And so once it adjusts after those 6 months, you'll probably get a lower return, somewhere closer to 6%, but still annually for the next year, that'll be somewhere in the 7% range annualized that you'll get completely risk-free. Now, there are some limitations to this. Number one, you can't sell with under 1 year, so you can't just lock in the 9.62% and then sell after that. You have to hold for at least a year. And if you sell between 1 and 5 years, you're going to give up the most recent 3 months of interest payments. So, you know, if you held for 18 months and then sold, you're going to basically get the interest of 15 months. So you're going to be giving up that 3 months of interest payments. So Series I bonds are a great way to make some money right now and kind of compensate your monetary losses that are being burned up through inflation, and are something you should seriously consider. They're taxed at the federal level, but not at the state level. And if you use it for certain educational expenses, it actually can be completely tax-free. So it's something to consider, and it's better than tips right now, especially if you're going to hold for like a shorter amount of time, because number one, the coupon rate, the yield you're getting from a Series I bond is going to be higher. Right, like right now you're getting 9.62% if you buy a Treasury inflation and protected security at tips. You're going to get a significantly less yield, especially when you're dealing with shorter durations, shorter time frames, like a 1 year Treasury. And you don't deal with the fact that there's price fluctuations, because you're buying from the primary market, the federal government. You're not buying on a secondary market. The face value, the amount of money you put in to buy the bond that you get out whenever you sell the bond, is going to remain constant. And you'll, of course, collect interest on top of that. But if you were to buy tips from the secondary market, which is how you usually buy it, you're going to deal with price fluctuations. So that's not always fun. And so you can only collect what you put into the bond and all the interest payments if you held to maturity, while you have more flexibility with a Series I bond, because you can liquidate them whatever for the full value that they're worth, the amount of money you put into it. So right now, I might have slipped up on a few things. My brain's a little fuzzy, but the general idea is right now, yeah, I get 9.62% locked in. If you buy a Series I bond before the end of October, you get 6 months of 9.62%. Doesn't matter if you buy in the last day of October. Doesn't matter if you buy now. You're going to get 6 months of 9.62%. So put your money there. Yeah, you can't buy it through your broker, which kind of sucks. Everybody loves to see the profit loss on their brokerage account. But if you want a risk-free return that's relatively high compared to everything else, you know, getting battered, bonds in the secondary market or equities right now in the stock market, then why not do a Series I bond? It's a great way to make basically free cash. Yeah, so go do it. Google where to buy I bonds, and you'll find the Treasury Direct website pop up at the top, and you can buy $10,000 worth a year. And if you use your tax return, you can buy an extra $5,000 worth, so that's $15,000 that you can potentially put into these Series I bonds, which are basically free lunch. So don't ignore it, go do it. It's a great place to park your money right now. And I know a lot of you guys have less than $10,000. Some of you guys have more. But, you know, if you want a guaranteed return, there it is. It's a good way to diversify if you don't want to put full $10,000 worth in anyway. Yeah, and lastly, I want to say I'm still sick. I'm sick as hell. And we're working through it. And I'm just trying to... So it might not seem like I'm sick, okay? Trust me, I'm mighty fucked up. If you're interested in my health, my brother's health, you can follow us on our health channel down below. I miss the shit out of you guys. And hang in there during these tough times. Don't forget, if you want to diversify further, you can do things like the wheel or buy normal bonds, although bonds are taking a hit as interest rates go up. But if you hold until maturity or hold through the average duration of the bonds on a bond fund, it shouldn't really matter what the price fluctuations are doing at the moment. And always just buy the dip. And if you want free stocks, down in the description, you can join Webull, and there's some limitations there, but if you sign up, you can get some free stocks. I get some free stocks. Win-win situation. Love you guys. Peace out.